Lookism chapter 622 is out, let's talk about it. Yeah, so this chapter was good, very good even. I have a lot to say about this chapter, so let's just get right into it. First of all, to just get this part out of the way, Musashi is just immediately in my top 5 favorite characters now when it comes to Lookism. I don't think I've ever liked a character this much just off of their first appearance, but this guy is pretty much exactly what I imagined a man that holds the name of two of the most legendary swordsmen in existence to be like, except if he was in Lookism. He seems autistic, very autistic at that, but at the same time, PTJ is actually implementing some of Musashi and Kojiro's mannerisms into this character, which I absolutely love, and I honestly wish he wasn't just a pre-gen arc character that we'll probably never get to see again after this arc, because he's well executed up to this point, and I can't really say that about a lot of the characters in the main story. Also, the inclusion of the dog into this whole thing is also just another amazing addition, because not only is it a funny dynamic between the dog and Musashi, but it's also setting up the eventual awakening in the future for Musashi, when the dog does end up getting hurt and Musashi awakens and sort of has to rely on himself and go all out from then on. Not that the dog is scaring him or anything, but it's kind of like a dynamic between Yu-sung and Eugene, where if Eugene gets hurt, Yu-sung goes all out. And one more thing about Musashi, I think it's safe to say this guy took Elite's arm. Like, I don't think I have any more questions about that part now. He split Childu in half this chapter. I don't think it's far-fetched to say this guy took Elite's arm during their battle. I'm actually surprised he didn't do more than that, but it just sets up an amazing brutal fight in the future that I can't wait for, and I'm hoping PTJ gives swordsman justice in this fight. And speaking of Elite, I'm probably gonna make a whole video on this because it is a pet peeve of mine with Gaprong's character and the way he's being executed, but he's so blindly trusting with genuinely no backup whatsoever. All it takes to get on Gaprong's side is to seem a little smart and want to save South Korea. That's literally all there is to it. Anyways, more on that in a future video. There's one more thing I want to talk about on the topic of swordsmen, which is this whole altercation at the end of the chapter. Yeah, so this is either the end of Bang Ho, which it makes no sense for his character to end here, especially considering where the Hwarang ends up in the future, or this fight is gonna get interrupted, which it is. So all I'm saying is don't get your hopes up too high, because this is most likely not gonna be an actual fight, but we all already knew that, so